this is just going to be a personal vlog about my migraines. If you don't want to watch, it's not one of my beauty ones, feel free to skip it. I don't care. I have chronic daily headache. I haven't been without pain in like almost 16 years. Or is it past 16 years? Since I was 15, I'm 31 now, so whatever. But I recently and that's why if I might have gotten these boxes, but why I have them all piled up to do videos is because I don't have the energy, or I'm in so much pain, so I don't film very often. So that's why I might have the boxes on hand, but I just can't get myself to film because I'm in so much pain. Or I'm drugged up because of medication. One or the other. But I just went to see I got normally my doctor, she feels fine giving me Percocet prescription, anti-nausea prescription, and filling out my FMLA, which is the Federal Medical Leave Act, which protects your job in the U.S. if you're a full-time employee and your employer has like over, I think 50 employees or something like that. I could be wrong. Check your local listings. I could be totally wrong about some things, but anyway. So she fills that out so I can get time off from work, even though I might not get paid for it because I have no paid leave because I used it all up because of my other really bad attacks. So at least I won't lose my job until my FMLA runs out. So, and that has happened once before. I had to go on disability for a little over a year, and I basically lost my job because I could not work with my migraines, and they only allow, you can get, I think, 12 weeks a year off. Yeah. So, and that one time it ran out because I was in such bad shape. And I'm trying to prevent that from happening now. So I realized that my headaches have been getting really bad recently. So I finally talked over with my doctor, and I was thinking trying a preventive medication. Usually there's an abortive medication which is supposed to stop your headache. So you're supposed to take it as soon as you get your migraine. I'm never without it, so it's kind of, that could be one of the reasons why it didn't work for me, is because of it's always hard when I take it because I'm never at the beginning of my migraine. It's always in the middle of my migraine because it's one big migraine. So that could be the reason why those don't work, but I asked for one of those. I hadn't tried because I was desperate. It did not work. Didn't actually do anything. Didn't even have bad side effects. Well, okay, it made me a little bit tired, but it didn't really do anything. And then I wanted a preventive medication, which preventatives for migraines are a bunch of different classes. It could be antidepressants, it could be anti-seizure, it can be beta blockers, it could be calcium channel, whatever. It basically heart medication. It could be, it's a whole bunch of different classes can be used off-label for migraines. And I've been on tons of them before. I've been on one of at least every class of drug when I was younger, and those did not work. They're supposed to lessen your migraines in the future, and also make your migraines happen with a greater no pain time. That did not make any sense. It's supposed to prevent headaches from happening as often as they are now in the future, and also lessen the headaches when you do get them. But with me, with preventative, since I never had my headaches stop, I have no freaking clue if preventatives work, because it's not preventing. It might be preventing my next migraine. I don't know. I haven't ended my first one yet. So they usually have not worked for me at all. Some of them had side effects where they just made me drowsy a whole lot, where I couldn't wake up the next day. And yeah, and some of them had some other side effects that other people say are really bad. I don't remember I stopped trying preventatives like almost a decade ago because they weren't helping, and it's just waste of money. And it's a waste of time because your doctor tries you on a lowest dose and then bumps it up, then bumps it up, then bumps it up, then bumps it up, and usually you get your side effects at the very beginning, and they could be really bad, but then they say, stick with it. Your body will get used to it and the side effects will lessen. Yeah, so I haven't been on those in a while, so I don't remember what the side effects are, at least to me. But I was willing to try other ones I haven't tried before just because I'm desperate. Turns out, though, my doctor, my primary care doctor, also has migraines. Not nearly as bad as mine, but she understands migraines. At least she understands the pain. And she's been on a lot of preventatives herself, and so she didn't think they were going to work either. She didn't even think that the abortive would work either. So, but she gave me that to try. But because I've been on so many preventatives before, she wouldn't know where to start prescribing those, and then trying to keep up and then titrating to the proper level for me, because if I had no response before. So she referred me to a neurologist. I got the phone call from the office after they got the referral, and they set me up with a doctor. Turns out when I got the paperwork, they set me up with a nurse practitioner. Number one, I know myself that nurse practitioners are great people. They're really smart, and they can handle a lot of things nurses can't. But neurologists can't even handle what I have. So a nurse practitioner, other than she should be a lot cheaper. That's the only thing good, because my insurance, my deductible is like $17.50. That's a whole lot for a year. And I'm paying my parents both. I take care of my parents. They live with me, so I pay all of their medical expenses that Medicare doesn't cover. And so, yeah, I'm tapped out. And so I decided, well, fine, this is who they sent me with, because I'm assuming she's a gatekeeper for the neurologist, because they're always busy. But when they get new patients, they want to see somebody quickly, so they give those patients to her, and she can handle basic patients. But then she refers to the other neurologist in the clinic for hard ones. And basically, I showed up with my old films of MRI. I had my second MRI that was on a disc. And so I had all this stuff. I had a list of all the drugs I was on, all the treatments I've had, all the different types of treatments and practitioners I've went to. And basically she's like, you don't expect me to fix you. And I'm like, no. Number one, I didn't really want to see you. I knew I needed to see a neurologist. But I didn't say that because I'm very shy when I don't like confrontation. And also, my previous neurologist I went to at the University of Washington like 8 years ago, this nurse practitioner said was the best of the best in the Puget Sound region for migraines. And if she couldn't fix me, which she did try, that neurologist did try a lot of things. I just don't want to go back there because you have to pay for parking, you have to drive through Seattle, and the fact that it's the UW, so it's northern part of Seattle, and when you have a migraine, you don't want to deal with that. Seattle's just bad traffic all over the place. And who wants to pay for parking? So there's reasons why I don't want to go back. Plus, it didn't help me at all. So she's like, well, she was the best of the best. How do you expect me or anybody else to fix you? And I'm like, okay, that sucks. So she referred me to two of the headache specialists at her clinic, but she didn't hold much hope for them because of the best saw me and couldn't fix me. So now I'm like, okay, but she did understand that, yes, I'm in pain, and I've been in pain forever. Well, 16 years. So she did understand that. It took her a while, but that got through her head, and she's like, yeah, you need relief. So she set me up, but I have to wait a few months before a spot opens. And I'm thinking about canceling that spot anyway because it'll just be a waste of money. Because she said there's no new treatments out there, which I knew that. So it's basically useless for me. I just have to deal with my pain, which I've been dealing with, but it's been getting out of hand. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst pain imaginable, I can get 8s per, like, almost daily. The lowest I've had, like, in like a year was a 4, and that was only a few weeks ago, where even though I was in a pain of a level of a 4, it felt like, it felt so great, because I haven't felt that in years. I was able to put on makeup before going to work. It was nice. So I just want it to go back down to like 4s and 5s like it used to be. So anyway, I do know I have sleep apnea, but I've had bad problems with the CPAP and the BiPAP machines. They're really noisy and stuff, but true, this was the last time I had a sleep study was around 8 years ago, and because I was on state insurance at the time, because it was the time when I was laid off because of my migraine, the state didn't pay for the BiPAP, so I've been without one all this time. And I know that not treating your sleep apnea can make headaches worse. Suppose it can cause migraines, but I've had migraines before I had sleep apnea. And also cardiovascular risk goes up. So I understand that. But it's just so noisy, and the fact that you have to put it over your nose. I have a thing where I can't have anything around my nose and face. I can't wear masks. I can't wear scarves over there. I don't even like putting my hand right here. And it's not even, I mean, it's far away and I can still feel it. I just have this weird panic attack. So I hate it. But I asked my doctor for a referral to a sleep disorder doctor, and I'm probably going to pay another $2,000 for a sleep study. My first sleep study I had, they didn't tell me that they can charge me overtime for the room, for the staff, if they didn't have enough hours ahead. I told them ahead of time, give me medication, a sleeping pill, because I was working second shift at the time, so I got off at 1 and they expected me to be in bed by 8 p.m. So that would not have worked. So they gave me the pill. It still didn't get into effect, so I was still up by like 10, 11 o'clock. I'm very good with fighting pills for some reason. I guess I'm so used to it because I'm on so many sedative drugs that I just want to try to keep awake. So anyway, they gave me that. I finally got to sleep, and then by the time they were supposed to wake me up, they were thinking, oh, she only needs a few more hours before we can get the result, an actual result, because if we woke her up on time, it would have been not a full result. So they let me sleep for another like 2 hours. Turns out 2 hours equals like $1,000 that I had to pay for. And so I don't like sleep studies for that reason. It's because sleep sucks. I like it, but I like it on my own time, and I don't like being charged extra when I have no money. So I'm going to go down that route, and then once I start, hopefully the new machines are smaller and quieter. That's what I've been told, but I don't know. So hopefully it works, and hopefully I can start being compliant, and maybe that will lessen my migraines. At least I'll be doing it, so then the neurologist can't say, well, that's your reason. So even if it doesn't affect my migraine at all, which I think it won't, I'll at least be doing it so the neurologist has to look for another reason. So anyway, thank you for listening to this rant vlog about my migraines. I just had to say that, yeah, that nurse practitioner would not take my case. And she didn't think that the ones that she was referring me to even though they have more expertise than she does, it's still the fact that I went to the best of the best and that didn't fix me. So, anyway, that's where I am with my health. Anyway, I don't know how to end this. Thank you for listening. Bye.